If you joined a cult today, you wouldn't even realize it. Not tomorrow, not next week. You'd think you finally found people who understood you. That's the terrifying part. Because cults don't begin with control, they begin with comfort. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how ordinary people, teachers, engineers, celebrities, students, slowly give up their beliefs, identities, and sometimes their entire lives. Brainwashing didn't end with Jonestown. It didn't end with Charles Manson. It evolved. Today, the same psychology appears in cults, extremist movements, online communities, influencer followings, high-control workplaces, even some self-improvement groups. If you understand the system, you can spot it early. If you don't, you won't realize you're inside it until it feels impossible to leave. Brainwashing is not hypnosis. It's not mind control, and it's not stupidity. Brainwashing is a step-by-step psychological process that replaces your internal belief system with an external authority. No chains, no force, just structure. And every successful brainwashing system in history follows the same blueprint. Every cult, extremist group, and psychological manipulation system follows 5 stages. Miss even one, and the system fails. I'll walk you through all 5. And near the end, you'll understand why escaping feels harder than staying. Stage 1. Identity cracking. Brainwashing always begins when identity becomes unstable. Major life moments. Moving to a new city, losing a job, ending a relationship, loneliness, failure, grief, confusion. That's why cults don't recruit people who feel complete. They recruit people asking, who am I really? Why does my life feel empty? Is there more than this? NXIVM didn't advertise itself as a cult. It marketed itself as executive success training. People joined to improve themselves. That's the pattern. Before belief comes collapse. And notice this stage doesn't feel dangerous. It still feels like growth. Stage 2. Isolation without walls. Once identity weakens, the next step is control of information. Not by banning ideas, but by filtering them. Jim Jones didn't start with violence. He started with moving followers away from family, framing outsiders as enemies, creating an us versus them narrative. He reframed the outside world as hostile. Critics were evil. Journalists were enemies. Family members were brainwashed. Followers weren't locked in. They chose to stay. Isolation doesn't mean being alone. It means being surrounded only by people who think the same way. Today, isolation is digital. Algorithms reward outrage. Extreme beliefs get more attention. Opposing views slowly disappear. You don't feel isolated. You feel validated. Stage 3. Emotional dependence. Once isolated, the group becomes everything. Friends, meaning, purpose. Approval feels like safety. Doubt feels like danger. Let's look at the story of Heaven's Gate. Members didn't stay because of logic. They stayed because leaving meant losing community, losing purpose, losing identity. The brain linked the group to survival. At this stage, people stop questioning, not because they're convinced, but because belonging feels necessary. And this is where logic stops working, because the brain is no longer defending truth. It's defending belonging. Up to now, this sounds like religion. But brainwashing doesn't need belief. Take the Yakuza, not as a criminal organization, but as a psychological system. For decades, the Yakuza operated like a surrogate family. Many recruits came from unstable homes, economic hardship, or social exclusion. They weren't promised money, they were promised belonging. Once inside, identity shifted. Your personal story mattered less. Your group identity mattered more. Loyalty wasn't encouraged, it was moralized. Leaving wasn't quitting, it was shame. Public shame. Outsiders were framed as threats, authorities as enemies. The group became the only source of safety and meaning. This isn't about crime. This is about identity replacement. When obedience feels like honor, control becomes invisible. Stage 4. Authority and obedience. Once emotional dependence is locked in, authority doesn't need force. It only needs presence. Real-life example: Charles Manson. Charles Manson didn't issue orders. He reframed violence as enlightenment. Followers believed they chose it. That's the illusion. True brainwashing feels voluntary. The Milgram experiment proved this. Ordinary people administered harm simply because an authority told them to. Not monsters. Normal people. Stage 5. Identity replacement. At the final stage, the original self fades. Language changes. Values shift. Moral boundaries move. ISIS didn't sell violence. They sold purpose, belonging, heroism. The belief system replaced identity. Now something millions recognize. Multi-level marketing groups. They promise freedom, growth, community. Psychologically, many multi-level marketing groups follow the same stages. Identity cracking. You're stuck because society failed you. Isolation. Negative people don't understand. Dependence. This group is your family. Authority. Trust the system. If success doesn't come, the system isn't wrong. You are. That's not business. That's conditioning. Now compare this to military indoctrination. The tools are similar. Uniforms, hierarchy, obedience. But there's a difference. Healthy systems allow exit, while cults punish it. Same tools, different ethics. Intelligence doesn't protect you. It increases risk. Smart people rationalize contradictions, search for meaning, trust systems. Brainwashing hijacks intelligence and turns it inward. Leaving a cult feels like psychological death. You lose identity, community, meaning. That's why many stay, even when they see the truth. Here's the question psychologists use. Am I allowed to doubt without punishment? If doubt is dangerous, you're not free. The most dangerous belief is thinking you're immune. Cults don't look like cults anymore. They look like movements, communities, causes, influencer followings. The psychology is identical, only the packaging changed. If this video changed how you see influence, power, or belief, subscribe. Because the best defense against manipulation is understanding how it works. And if this opened your eyes, comment, "I see it now." Sometimes that's how freedom starts.